dive into how to scale your business, right? Like, this is what we all here for. Let's get into it. But first, I feel like the word scale, like I want to scale my business, I feel like that has become a buzzword. And so I want to just take a moment to get really clear on what a scalable business is in the first place, right? And so my good friend Google told me that at its core, a scalable business is one that focuses on the implementation of processes and processes that lead to an efficient operation, right? It's the workflow and the structure of the business that actually allows your business to become scalable. And I also want to note, like, a scalable business has effective tools for measurement, okay? Because you want to be able to assess the entire business at every single level. Now, that's kind of counterintuitive because everything that you're hearing and seeing out there is around scaling is all about money. So let's talk about like what scaling is not. It is not being consumed with getting more clients. And it is not being consumed with learning the latest marketing strategy. Like, Google didn't say any of that. They didn't say clients. They didn't say marketing strategy. They didn't say creating new packages. They didn't say hiring or delegating. That's not what scaling is. So we think though, like we think that's what scaling is. And so that's what we spend our time on. And we end up, like, I'm going to talk about vicious cycles a lot because most of us are in vicious cycles. And if we can't identify that we are in a cycle, we will never get out. So we think that, you know, spending time finding clients, spending time learning the latest marketing strategy, creating that new package, building the team is the thing that is going to, you know, help us to scale, help us to make more money, help us to get our time back. But in actuality, you know, it's not helping us get any more money because we're not doing these things well, because we're not doing them in order. And so what happens is we actually have less time because we're trying to figure out all the other stuff that we think is going to get us the result that we want. And if we happen to get a client, then we have to spend more time on the client stuff while still doing all the other things to get more clients, because you probably aren't charging enough, which means you need a lot of clients. And it's just this whole mess. And you end up like Mr. Emoji here, like, oh my gosh. Okay, so let's look at what creating a scalable business actually looks like. So first we have to create structure. That is exactly what Google told us. It is about the structure, the processes, the workflows, the systems, the automations. All of those things allow us to create consistent results for our clients. It allows us to create boundaries and set expectations. And so when we have those things in place, we are building a scalable business, which leads us to the confidence, the expertise, having laser focus, more free time, more money, strategic growth. So no more spending hours trying to figure out what to post on social. You just know what to do. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that later, but also there's that predictable profit thing right there. Google talked about, you know, measuring. You got to be able to measure your results, and most people don't know how to do that. So we're definitely going to dive into that in just a minute. But this counterintuitive thing that we have to do, and this is probably going to be like, what? So you have to slow down if you want to speed up. And I actually had one of my 7-figure coaches tell me that. And when he first said it, I was like, I just want to speed up. Like, why would I slow down? It didn't make any sense. It was super counterintuitive, but I was like, I'm gonna listen because you're where I want to be. So let me be coachable. But we have to slow down if we want to speed up, right? And most designers never, ever, ever scale their business. Most entrepreneurs, period, never scale their business because they're focusing on the wrong things, right? We're focusing on, oh, I need to learn the next thing and do the most. Like, we stay doing the most in our business. And then because we're designers, like, everything has to be picture perfect. And then we wonder why we have no time at all. And our business is not growing because we never take the time to slow down so that we can actually speed up in our business. So you might be wondering, well, how can I slow down in my business, right? So let's talk about that. I'm sure you've noticed, like even with COVID, and I saw someone post in here, like COVID definitely like had a hit on your business. So here's the thing. There is a shift right now in our market, in the service provider. It doesn't really matter what service you're providing. People, their jobs are unstable right now. And so they understand, oh, I need to start a business, but they're looking for a holistic approach. Like they're not wanting to piecemeal things together. They want someone who can solve their entire problem. And so that has created a shift in room for opportunity, because the right people, this is the key, not everyone falls into this category, and that's okay. They don't have to. There are enough people, there are enough right people who are ready to step up and make the investment to get the result that they're after, okay? Again, the key is the right people. Had a conversation today with my students, and one of the newer students was like, I'm scared to repel people. And I'm like, listen, everybody ain't for you. Remember when I said if your money was green, we was good to go? That's a no. Like, we don't do that. And that is not how you grow your business. So it's focusing on the right people, okay? We are in a space where premium prices are acceptable, and you are actually in a position to offer an elevated experience to those who invest a premium price. I want you to think about, like, look at all the VIP days popping up. Thousands of dollars for one day. I charge $5,000 and $10,000 for a VIP day, and people pay it because of the holistic approach. So it's not if people will pay it, it's who are the people who will pay it. So the way to slow down in your business is by raising your rates. Like, that is the number one way you're going to be able to subsequently slow down and speed up at the same time. Only way you can do it, and I'm gonna tell you how. Okay, so I want you to think of, like, it's this ripple effect, and you literally have to rip the Band-Aid off. You just have to do it. I hear, gosh, again, I'm a Virgo. I have spreadsheet after spreadsheet after spreadsheet of responses that I've gotten to the question, what is holding you back from scaling your business, growing your business, reaching your revenue goals, like all of those questions. And everyone is like, I'm undercharging. I'm scared to raise my prices. Like, people are scared of money. They're scared to charge more, and it's a Band-Aid. Charging a lower price is a Band-Aid solution, because you think, well, if I keep the Band-Aid on, I'll get more clients because my price is low. But as you can see, you still struggle with a low price point, right? So why not raise your prices? So reality check, okay? When you raise your prices, you are going to be forced, like, you have no choice, because it's like, all right, I've raised my prices, now what? You are going to be forced to think about the experience and the result that those premium clients expect from you, okay? We need to know them. We need to know what they want. What is that solution that they are looking for? And I promise you, it is not about the brand, it is not about the logo, and it is not about the website. That is not what we're selling. If that's what you're selling, then you're probably struggling to sell your services. It is about the results, okay? You are selling at a premium price. You have to sell the result, all right? Now, because you're slowing down, right? You've raised your prices, you will be in a position to have space and time to create exactly what they need. But I want you to trust the process. It's going to be scary, right? When you raise your prices, you are going to finally have a moment to breathe. Most designers are overworked because their prices are too low. So once things start slowing down, you're going to freak out. Trust me, I freaked out. It just happens. That is a reaction. So that is being reactive. So lowering your prices after you raise them is reactive. We want to be proactive, and we want to use the time to create exactly what those high-end premium clients are looking for. Okay, so you got to trust the process. Then the magic will happen. Okay, so during this slow time, you have to dive deep into the experience that you want to create for your premium clients. Remember how I was like, I took out all the crap that I didn't want to, like, I hated doing in my packages. I took them out and I still raised my price because I only included the things that were going to yield a result for my clients. Premium clients don't want your fluff. They don't care about it. What they care about is results. Okay. So once you get clear on what that looks like, the experience, what they need to get the result, then you test it and you perfect it. Okay. I have a whole strategy behind this. I'll give you a brief overview, but essentially, because you're slowing down, you're going to have all these clients who you didn't charge enough. You didn't charge them enough, but you have to test out your process, right? So you're going to test it on those clients, and then you're going to perfect it. And then again, like, that's just where the magic happens. I have a whole strategy that I teach. I'd love to tell you all the things here, but that's not what we're talking about today. I do want to, though, talk about consequences. That's something that I implement in my business. Consequences, right? Like, clients can be like kids, and kids need structure. And so I want you to think, though, about what your consequences are if you do not raise your rates. Okay, if you do not raise your rates, you are going to continue to work with bad clients. All right. And because you're working with bad clients or low paying clients, or like whatever the issue is with those clients, you are always going to need more clients because you're not making any money, and they're consuming all your time. So then you're still like, there's this lack of time, which means you never can grow your business, right? And you ultimately are going to be in this vicious cycle for years. Don't be like me. Don't let it take a decade. Like, there's a better way, okay? But you have to first acknowledge it. That is the first step. Like, the 12 steps, all right, like, yeah, first step is to acknowledge that there is a problem. Now, let's look at what the benefits are. Actually, did I skip one? I did. So what are the consequences if you actually trust the process? So we talked about, okay, what happens if you do not raise your prices? Now, what happens if you do raise your prices, you trust the process, like you rip the Band-Aid off and you slow down? You are going to have time to create a process. That process is going to allow you to get repeatable results for your clients. Okay, you're going to have time to systemize your process, and because you know the process, you know the results that you're getting, you're going to be able to create an amazing experience for your clients. Premium clients want an experience and they want results. By slowing down, you will be able to create both. Okay. Now, what are the benefits when you test and perfect? Okay, so by testing this process out on your current clients, you will know how to communicate your value, because you're going to get super clear on what your value is by going through this process. As a result, you're showing up, you're speaking differently, you're confident in what it is that you offer, and you're unwavering on your prices because you know you're worth every penny and more. You then become a sought after expert. Like, if you are charging, so when I charged $500, nobody thought I was an expert. Okay, like, it's perception. And when you understand the value and you have this repeatable process for results, you are an expert at getting the result that you provide. You will even be able to work with clients that you adore, and you will be able to say no to clients that are sending you red flags, bad vibes, like all the things. We got time for that. And so slowing down allows you to speed up, because you're going to be exclusive and work only with the best clients, and you're going to be able to make more money, and you're going to have more free time as a result. Okay. Let's look at a side-by-side comparison though. So on the left, we have undercharging. Like, what is the result of undercharging? You can see this first little bar is clients, and there are a lot of them, okay? Because when we undercharge, people book us, and we feel good about that until we realize, oh, well, I ain't making no money and I ain't got no time, because bad clients want the most, right? Like 1,000,001 revisions. They're never happy. Oh, actually, let's try this. Oh, can we add this? It's a whole hot mess. Okay. So you have a ton of clients, you have a ton of time, but you ain't making no more money, and you can't make any more money because you don't have any more time. So again, there's that cycle that we're on. Now, let's look at someone, a designer who is charging premium rates. So they only take on a handful of clients because that's all they need is a handful of clients. Because they have a process, they are able to save time. So they are taking on fewer clients. They're getting through projects faster because that's what a process allows you to do. And they're getting consistent results, which allows them to charge the premium price, which means they're making a lot of money with not a lot of time or a lot of clients. So like, the choice is yours. Like, it's clear, it's an obvious choice, right? But are you willing to get uncomfortable? Are you willing to slow down in order to get the result that you want? And here's the icing on the cake. I love cake. I have a really, really sweet tooth. So let me give you some icing. It is easier to sell a higher price service. And the thing is, you don't need to sell a ton of them. Now, I want to look at some numbers, but like, I want you to realize there are things that go into being able to sell that higher price, right? Like, you can't just, anyone can raise their rates, right? But are you able to show up as the expert? Are you able to have that process to back it up? Okay, so that's where the time, you have to put the time investment in, and it's a matter of how long is it going to take you? It could be 10 years like me, or you could get a shortcut. Really, the choice is yours. So I want to look at the numbers, right? Jay-Z said it best, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Okay, remember when we looked at Google and Google was like, a scalable business has effective tools for measurement. This is key. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, because here's a little facts for you. You cannot grow what you don't measure. All right. I love quotes. Like, I don't have a ton in here, but I'm good. Like, I find me a quote and I'm like, yes, but this is so true. And I know for years, I didn't know how to measure those key performance indicators in my business. So let's talk about that, okay? Let's do a little bit of math. So let's say you want to make that 10K per month and you charge $2,000 for your highest package. I'm pretty sure you have other packages because most designers feel like they have to have 5 packages, and it could range from 500 to 2K, but we're just going to assume we're only selling your highest package, which means you need 5 clients a month. Super simple, right? But how many of you have said, oh, I need 5 clients this month, and you didn't get 5 clients that month? It's simple, but do you know how to make it happen? So let's break it down even further. So how are you going to ensure that you actually get those 5 clients? Like Courtney says to me, like, I understand, like, we have these goals, but we don't know how to make them happen. So let's talk about how to make that happen. One of the key performance indicators, one of the KPIs that you have to know in your business is, what is your conversion rate? Let me know in the chat. Do you know your conversion rate? Do you know what a conversion rate is? I didn't know what a conversion rate was for a really long time. So if you don't know, we're going to break that all the way down. How do you calculate your conversion rate? You want to take your number of sales, right? How many sales did you make? How many new clients did you get? We're going to take that number, and then we are going to divide it by the number of sales. I say sales calls because that's how I close clients. But how do you close clients? Is it email? Is it DMs? Is it like, however? But I want you to keep track of how many of those sales calls or sales processes are you having? How many are you going through? So let's say you made 3 sales last month and you had 15 sales calls. That means you have a 20% conversion rate. So when you divide 3 by 15, it's going to give you 0.2. So we want to get a percentage. So you multiply that by 100 and that gives you 20%. Okay. So that's how you're going to calculate. That's how you calculate your conversion rate. But that's just one number, right? That is going to give us the metric that we need to hit our numbers every single month. Because, okay, cool, I need 5 clients, but what does that even mean? So let's break this down. We need leads. Obviously, leads are people who are interested in your services. So that is anyone who DMs you, anyone who sends an email, fills out a form. There are going to be a lot of people. There may or may not be a lot of people who request information or inquire on your services, right? Typically, it's very rare that a lot of them are going to go to the next step. So I'm using a conservative 2% conversion because that's I would rather you go low than go high, because if you assume you have a higher, you're going to turn more leads into sales calls than you actually will, then your numbers are going to be all off. So go low instead of going high. So we're going to say about 2%, right? So if we need 5 clients and we have a 20% conversion rate, that means we need to have 20 calls. And so if our lead to sales call percentage is 2%, that means we need to have 100 leads, okay? In order to get 5 clients, you guys, 5 clients, you need 100 leads at a 20% conversion rate from your sales calls and a 2% conversion rate from lead to sales call, okay? 100 leads. And that is every single month. So that means at the end of the year, you need to have had 1,200 leads just to get 5 times 12, 60 clients. So that's a lot. That is a lot of work. All right. Now I want to introduce you to another option, and it all circles back to raising your prices, right? That's our solution. We have to raise our rates, but so a strategy that I teach my students is implementing an automated vetting system. So this is a part of a whole process that I teach, but real quickly, an overview is that we are sending people through this vetting process so that the leads that we're getting are a higher quality. So let's say you increase your prices to 5,000. That means you only need 2 clients. And with that automated vetting system, your conversion rate goes up to 40% because all of the leads that are coming in are super qualified. And that means that you only need to talk to half of them, right? Because they're super, super qualified. So with that, if you need 2 clients at a 40% conversion rate because they're super, super qualified leads, you need 5 sales calls, which means you only need 10 leads, right? What makes them qualified? That's a great question. It depends on you and your business. For me, I have lots of qualifiers, but there are red flags. I want to know, why do they want to work with me? What's important? What do they value? There's sales psychology behind it. And I will talk about that a little bit later, but it really depends on a qualified lead is really up to you and your business, because someone who's qualified for me may not, or vice versa. So you might think someone is a good fit for you and your business, but for me and my business, I don't think that they would be a good fit. So qualified just means that they are a good fit for your business. They fit within, that profile that you're trying to work with, that ideal client that you're trying to work with. So let's think about it. 10 leads versus 100 leads. Total no-brainer. And once you see that math, everything changes. When your prices are low, you are literally working harder to make less money. Okay. That's just not the way that you're going to be able to grow your business. And I am proof of it because I spent 10 years doing the 100, trying to get in front of everyone. I had to talk to it's not a good look, y'all. So truth, like transparency, there are other factors that come into play here, but at the core of it, if you know those KPIs, what you're looking for, what your conversion rate is, you're able to do the math. And the numbers don't lie. If you know what your conversion rates are, you know how many people you need to talk to, how many sales calls, then from there, how many leads do you need? Because all leads aren't going to turn into a sales call. So it's all about math. That is the only way that you are going to hit your numbers every single month, is hit your goals if you know your numbers, okay? So that's all I got today. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if I can answer any questions for you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.